Hey guys, it's Bro You Whack, and us gamers, we want one thing, and honestly, it's kind of disgusting, and that's higher rank. Competitive is the main reason why we keep coming back to these games, whether it's because we're addicted or... That's really it. But it's no secret that more people have been going back to Marvel Rivals as of late. Now, is that because Marvel Rivals competitive system is that good? Yeah, I really think that there's a lot of good elements that Marvel Rivals competitive system has that Overwatch can look at it and be inspired by when trying to improve their competitive system in Season 15. Because we all know that Season 15 is going to mainly focus on competitive, but what exactly would they need to change? And even though I'm going to take this whole entire video to discuss those changes, I want you to comment down below what you want Overwatch to do to change. It doesn't even have to be inspired from Marvel Rivals, just what you want to be done for you to go back and grind competitive in Overwatch once again. But when you look at both competitive systems, on the surface, they seem really similar. Both are extremely toxic, you have a bunch of one-tricks, and... honestly, that's kind of where the similarities end, surprisingly, because Overwatch has placement games where Marvel Rivals, everyone starts off at bronze at the beginning, then at the beginning of the new season, everyone drops by 7 tiers, so if you were Platinum 3, you drop all the way to Bronze 1. Both seem like they have a similar amount of ranks with Bronze, Silver, Gold, Platinum, Diamond, Grandmaster, and Eternity, which is just Champion, and One Above All, which is just Top 500, but Overwatch has an extra tier with Masters, and both have divisions, not the same amount of divisions, but still divisions where there's 100 points in between each division. But that's where the similarities end, and if that's where it ends, a minute and a half into the video, and Marvel Rivals is killing it with competitive, Overwatch has a lot to change. And the first thing that I don't see enough people talking about in the Overwatch community that Marvel Rivals is killing it with is how much points is given after you win or lose a game. In Overwatch, it's still the same archaic amount of points ever since Season 2 of Overwatch 1 in 2016. If you win a game or you lose a game, you can gain or lose anywhere from like 19 to 25 points, give or take, if you're at a rank that you're not supposed to be at. But let's say you're at the rank that you're supposed to be at and you absolutely kill it in a match. You're gonna gain the same amount of rank as that sorry tank that you had to carry that whole entire game. Why? If I'm the best player, shouldn't I gain more points to try to climb up in rank? Whereas in Marvel Rivals, from what I experienced, if you get an MVP, you gain a lot more points than your peers in that same amount of match. And on the flip side, if you get SVB, which is like the second most valuable player on the losing side, you're gonna lose less points than the person on your team that totally costed you the match. So the fact that the amount of points that you gain or lose is based on how good or bad you do in a game is great, but that's not even the best part about Marvel Rivals competitive system, because what I found is that if you say play 8 games, you win 4 games and you lose 8 games, you will still gain more rank than you lose on average. Whereas in Overwatch, if you play 8 games, lose 4, and you win 4, you're more likely gonna stay at the exact same place that you started at the beginning of those 8 games. Now, on paper, that might seem logical, but when you try to expand the sample size from 8 games to 100 games, and you win 50 and you lose 50, in Overwatch's case, you're probably gonna stay at the exact same rank after those 100 games. Whereas in Marvel Rivals' case, you'd be hard-pressed not to gain at least a couple of tiers, just because that's how the rank system works. Marvel Rivals is a lot more generous with the amount of points that they give per win, and a whole lot more conservative with the amount of points that they take away. Like after a win, I've gotten points anywhere from like 25 all the way to like 56 points, and for every loss, it's about 18 to like 25. Some people might not like that generosity. They like the Overwatch system where they're hard set on 25 for every win and every loss, and if you win the exact same as you lose, you're gonna stay at the exact same spot. Me personally, I don't like that system, because if I win the exact same amount as I lose and I put in all that time, I want to see some progress, because it's gonna be very frustrating knowing that I'm in the exact same spot as someone that could have only played 3 games. That's lame. But even if you like the point distribution in Overwatch, you have to admit it takes a very long time to try to go up in rank. And one key difference between Marvel Rivals and Overwatch that I also don't see a lot of people talking about is the fact that Overwatch has 5 divisions for every rank and Marvel Rivals has 3. And that causes a lot of stagnant feeling like you're never gonna make it out of this, not even just division, but just rank in general, because you have 2 extra divisions to try to cross into. And in my personal opinion, I don't think we need that much deviation in between a single rank, because if you tell someone that you're gold 5 and they're gold 2, I really don't think there's going to be a lot of skill differential between a gold 5 and a gold 2. But not only that, most people are just going to group you all into gold tier. Like, it doesn't matter if you're a gold 2 and you're higher rank, you're still gold, so you might as well be a gold 5. Whereas in Marvel Rivals, because there's less deviation, there's less to climb through, but there's also less of a social, like, emphasis on divisions. If you tell someone you're platinum, I feel like they're less inclined to ask, well, is it platinum 1 or is it platinum 3? No, because they're so close and because it's so kind of easier to go through the ranks, they just assume that you're platinum and that is the skill differential from you and gold and you and diamond, not really divisions within the rank itself. But another thing that Marvel Rivals has that makes it less infuriating to play their competitive system as compared to Overwatch is this thing called a Chrono shield. Now, what a Chrono shield is basically a D rank protector. Basically, when you lose 3 games in Marvel Rivals, doesn't have to be back-to-back, just lose 3 games, you'll charge this thing called your Chrono shield. Then once you reach your 4th loss, it'll totally negate any points that you would have lost after that match. Now, this is really helpful for a D rank spree, and this is just also really helpful if you just, like, lose a game. Like, you just lose less points. I don't know about you guys, but I would like a little protection for my 4th, 5th, shoot, even my 6th loss. But what about actually playing competitive? Because up until this point, we just talked about the competitive system, but what about playing the competitive game? Well, one major thing that Marvel Rivals has over Overwatch, besides the faster queue times, is a ban system. Now, I will say the ban system is only for diamond players and above, but basically how this ban system works is that once you reach diamond and when you queue up for a game, you have an opportunity to pick a character that you don't want to be played in a match. Every single player can do this in the preloading screen. So basically, you have a 20% chance for the hero that you picked to get banned. The enemy team also has an opportunity to do the same thing, and all of you guys get to do this 2 times. So basically, 2 heroes will get banned every single match when you're diamond and above. Now, most of the time what happens, or at least in Season 0, Hawkeye and Hela always got banned because they were absolutely broken and overpowered. Like the closest thing to a I automatically win button. That's why people ban those characters. And I really think, well, now this is getting the discussion of if Overwatch should have a ban system like they kind of used to have, except cats actually picked which characters got banned in Overwatch. I'm not even kidding. Zoe's cat literally picked an Overwatch hero to be banned in a week span. It didn't work, but that's because outside people picked which characters got banned rather than the people that are actually within the match. So this is something where we have to ask ourselves, is Overwatch at the point where we have enough characters to ban a hero? But then people start bringing up the negatives, like what about one-trick people that only know how to play one character? And what about toxic players that will throw if they don't get their precious little Hanzo? And what about counters? Like, what if you ban Soldier and Cassidy? Well, that's just going to be a field day for Ferris, which actually did happen when Overwatch used to have a ban system. I remember Ashe, Cassidy, and Soldier were banned during that week, and Mercy and Pharah just absolutely reigned terror in competitive. But you have to remember that, at least in Marvel Rivals' case, this is for Diamond and above. In the lower ranks where people really only have time to try to learn one hero, this isn't obviously an issue because there's no ban system. But when you get to Diamond and above, more people are actually dedicated to the game, more people are willing to learn more characters, and I think that same effect could be said for Overwatch, where in Diamond above, shoot, even maybe Masters and above, if you have a ban system, more people are willing to, I say this very loosely, but more willing to be flexible compared to people like Bronze and Silver. Obviously, people are going to be stubborn in Masters and above, but I really do think that Overwatch can at least try to experiment with the ban system in Season 15 to see how it goes, and if it goes poorly, then just take it away. We talked about the competitive system, we talked about actually playing competitive games. What about competitive rewards? Because while Overwatch has competitive rewards, they have gold weapons and jade weapons, and soon enough they're probably going to have another material of competitive camo rewards. And if it's not a good material, it's going to be met with a lot of Because Marvel Rivals, they offer something that we've been begging Blizzard to do for the longest time, a competitive reward skin. From Gold and beyond, you're gonna get a competitive skin, whether it was Moonlight from Season 0 or Invisible Woman now in Season 1, and as long as you get to one of those skins, you'll get the Moon Knight skin. Now, one cool thing that I thought Marvel Rivals would have done that Overwatch can actually do if they want to add a competitive reward skin is make a portion of the skin made out of the material of the rank that you got to. Like, maybe the mask could have been gold or diamond or eternity, which would have just been pink. But whether they decide to do that or not, what Overwatch needs to do is have more competitive rewards that we care about. I don't care about the Grandmaster title. Nobody cares about that. But whether they have a weapon charm for the specific rank that you got, similar to Valorant, or what Marvel Rivals is doing is having a skin and making it an even better version where the skin is correlated to the rank that you got, whether it's with a brand new skin or just making it a recolor, because we all know you like to make recolors, Blizzard. You could easily do that for a competitive reward. They just need to do that to incentivize people to come back and play competitive. But here's a recap of what I think Overwatch needs to do in Season 15 to try to make the competitive system better, because their competitive system, it's aight, but more people obviously like Marvel Rivals right now, and what they need to do is to be a little bit more generous with the rank that they give out. They also need to have a little less divisions, maybe 4. Maybe just drop it down to 4 rather than 5. There should also be some sort of protection for whenever you go on a huge, massive losing streak. Maybe after every 5 wins, you don't lose any SR or whatever. Really toy around with the idea of a ban system, and if it don't work, take it away. Like, I'm willing for it to not be permanently in the game. And finally, have better rewards. Either have a killer weapon material as a camo, or just give us recolor skins for a competitive reward. Like, give us a different reason to grind for competitive other than Jade and gold weapons and stupid titles. Like, give us a skin. That'd be sick. But that, Hot Gamer Boys and Egos everywhere, is comparing the two games' competitive system. Now, don't get this twisted. Both are extremely toxic, and both have little children think that they are better than you. But when it comes to the actual system itself, I feel like Marvel Rivals is doing a much better job than Overwatch. But that doesn't mean Overwatch can't change. And, well, they got to in Season 15. But until then, I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch 2 videos to come, and bye.